Now the feeling comes to eliminate. Now to the old and vulgar man, as he holds the key. Golden balance, be the man, the reckoning begin. See the beginning of the falling of man. Good for the blind. Be the feeling underneath, bleed from the soul. Think of the feeling for me, a weakening decline. Then I need a man, my boy, my boy. Making a final solution. Staying, not going resolution.
Burn it to the ground. Lead on the wings. Existing. Burn it east. I'll take the desert. Desert the glass. The day the end game. We burn it to the ground. Leave us all behind. Burn black broken blood. Wrapped in joy. Look at the desert. Desert the glass. The day the end game. We burn it to the ground. Burn it to the ground. This will behind. Burn black, broken blood, black and shine. What's in the desert? Desert the glass. The day, we burn it to the ground. Laid off the waste. Ancient cities. Burn it east. What's in the desert? Desert the glass. The day, burn it to the ground. Fortitude from a blackened wall. We rise, burning all that we left behind. We rise, the burdens will tear you down. We rise, fortitude from a blackened wall. We rise,
Hello, everybody. You know who it is. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. I'm Nate Trash. Always am, always will be. Cannot change. Now, I need to figure out why my microphone isn't going that loud. Oh, shit. Let's pop a fucking face. Hello, everybody. Let's figure out why Papa's microphone isn't going that loud right now. Oh, yeah. I think I know exactly why. Let's go up a little bit on there. That's a little better. A little bit spicier there. All right, so today is a special day. I got, well, other than my sweet homie J Reds, I believe I got my first rapper on here. When J Reds came on, we were just kind of putting him on as J Reds because he's my sweet fucking special boy. But this guy is a full-on rap fucking maestro. Horror movies is his specific game and, like, good. So, like, the first video I watched was about Scream, but it wasn't just about Scream, okay? It was about Scream and fucking Scary Movie, which I thought was just hilarious. I thought it was awesome that he fucking threw both of those together. So, before we start, we got sponsors, and we also have the acknowledgement of the fact that this podcast is developed and recorded on Treaty 7 land, part of the Blackfoot territory. Our sponsors are Cursed Earth Apparel and Print, Camp Misfit Clothing, Octave Studios, Medicine Hat, Intrinsic Productions in Edmonton, Intersect Arts and Music Festival, Armstrong Metal Fest, Decimate Metal Fest, Loud as Hell Festival, Absolute Underground Magazine, Apply Within Audio, Lethbridge, Mountain Bistro, and Pizzeria in Bragg Creek. So, yeah, the list of sponsors gets fucking longer, but, like, my pockets don't get fuller. No, that's all right. That's all right, because it just means more people are going to buy the merch, and that's where the pockets come from. Yeah, fuck yeah. As if any of this was really about fucking money to begin with. Like, good Lord.
Never starts about money.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Always ends up being about it.
It's about, that's what helps you fucking continue, right? That's what helps you justify continuing without complaining about how much of a what is that, a burden it is to continue. Because I know a lot of people that are always out begging their friends to give them work and stuff, and it's like, no, you got to go out and do the work, and then your friends will ask you to do work for them once they see you're doing it well. But it's enough. I'm gonna quit babbling here. Thanks everybody for jumping in. Let's check out this intro and let's get in here with fucking Corey with Poltergeist OD.
Boiled fish. Boiled carrots.
Hey, I'm Nate Trash. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. Yes. Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk. And look at this. The mic. All right, we're good. I thought everything was fucking muted. I'm bad for that, Corey. I'm bad for that. How'd you like that intro? You like that intro tune? That's Ted's fucking song, Noblest Mute. He let me use that for my show.
Shout out, Ted.
Ted is, he's actually fucking, he does me solid. He's one of my best friends, because you know how when you have friends, some of your friends, they come with like a certain group of people that you also have to hang out with as well. And I really don't fucking enjoy that when it comes to hanging out with a lot of people. You know, I'm not that, if I got to do a show, if I got to work a show, or if I got to go and do some interviews or get some content, then yeah, I'll flick the switch. But for the most part, it's not the most fucking interesting, exciting thing for me to hang out with a friend and their friends that I kind of don't really know and don't really care for.
Oh shit, you froze up.
Oh no, we're back. Am I back?
I'm not hearing you on the mic either, I don't think.
Okay, hold on a sec here, buddy. Oh man. There we go. I can see you and hear you fine. Okay, we're gonna try again. Oh yeah. All right, can you hear me now, buddy?
Now,
Perfect. Okay, so we have a little. I think the settings over here on whatever we fixed it. But yeah,
ain't no thing.
Ted's one of those friends that is just like he always comes by himself. And I like that. I like that I can message me and Ted. We talk back and forth once or twice a day, you know. We hang out and it's usually just me or him in passing. Like when my band opened for Cradle of Filth a couple weeks ago, Ted didn't come to the show. And I even said I'd give him a ticket. But he's an old man. Like he's like 784 years old in people years. You know what I mean?
How I feel sometimes.
And like in like celestial being years, he's like, 40, I think. So he came to the show after we were done playing and he met us out back and he had a big fat joint to smoke with us. But he did not come to the show even though we had a free ticket. But that's why I love Ted, because he still supports, even though he doesn't like support the same way as everyone else. But
yeah,
we were talking about,
I got lots of homies who like support everything I do. They like, share, comment. They'll buy my shit, like check my merch out, like, but they just like don't come out to social gatherings. Like they won't be at the shows. Just they're fucking loner people sitting at home. They'd rather just chill and watch a movie. And I get that because that's like me when I don't have to be at shows.
Exactly. Me too, man. Like when I'm not, that's why I started doing the stream, was so I could be more active in the scene without having to be at every show and having to like be in every social situation and be at every gathering. And like, don't get me wrong, I love going out to the shows, but being in the trades and having an 8-year-old daughter part-time, I got to make sure I schedule my time properly, but still keep myself involved. Right. So,
and you're still trying to be a creator at the same time too. Like it's not all business. You still got to have fun and make music and do all that too, which is like, that's where I'm finding the balance is hard to meet.
Yeah. Cause you know how it goes, man. This isn't a choice. Like we don't have a choice to do this shit.
I'll go crazy if I don't.
Yeah. And you have to, you fucking have to. And it's not a matter of like, oh, I'm planning this out so it hits really hard and it fucking pops right off. It's like, I got to get this out so I can get on to the next thing. And I don't even know what the fucking next thing is yet. And it's just more and more and more. And it's this fucking seething addiction. But
yeah, the dedication part is hard. Like we got Dis or Daps every single Friday. And it's just hard enough for me to even just leave my house to go to work, let alone like go meet everybody again who I've already seen just last week. Hey, how's your week? Blah, blah, blah. How's your week? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like 100 different conversations, but it's all like little small talk, every single person. And just like, I don't know. I love everybody that comes out, but it's just like, that's kind of the hard part with me, like doing all the little mini things before I get to the stage.
It gets monotonous. It gets repetitive. But like, then you realize why you're doing it. And it's like, yeah, okay. It's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. And like, honestly, dude, like looking at your crib behind you, man, you got a fucking comfortable place like me, man. Like ignore my big pile of laundry here. I didn't go to work today. So I was like, I'll do some housework.
I'm a piler too.
Hell yeah, man. Like I got a kid. So for us, that's a lot of like tiny little socks. And then my girlfriend's feet are small too. And it's like, you know what? All the socks are going to go in a basket. If you need socks, get them out of the clean socks basket.
Yeah. I got a clean sock basket and a dirty sock basket.
Yep.
I got a clean clothes pile and a dirty clothes pile.
Yeah, done deal, man. That's it. It's the nest.
I got time to fold and hang my shit.
Yeah, it's the nest. It's like my house doesn't stink. I don't got bugs or nothing like that. And like I live in a basement suite too. So to say that you don't got bugs in a basement suite is fucking I like to think
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like to think that that's not too bad, huh? Fuck, forget about it. All right. Enough with our fucking small talk. Let's get down to the fucking nitty gritty of this. Introduce yourself, please, and thank you.
So I'm Poltergeist OD. I make music. It's like horrorcore, aggressive rap from the perspective of horror movie villains. So like, what if Chucky was a battle rapper? What if Michael Myers had some sick bars he had to spit for you? I've done things like, Michael Myers, Ghostface from Scream. I've done the Tall Man from Phantasm.
Pumpkinhead.
Every now and then I'll drop a track that's like not horror movie based, but I don't promote those as much just because like my fan base mostly has been in the horror community. So like that's where I'm trying to like niche out and just like find my own place in that world. My next song coming out July 1st is going to be about The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox. It's like one of my favorite 90s horror comedies.
So good, man.
Oh, it's so good.
So Pumpkinhead, I watched the Pumpkinhead video too, and that was good. But the Scream one, because you fucking talked about Scream and you talked about Scary Movie in the same rap.
I mean, they're like synonymous, aren't they? Like
I
think it's Scary Movie. Like they're almost like the same thing to me.
But like, that's just the way that was thrown together. I was like, this is fucking too good. I like this a lot because the footage you cut in together was from both movies too. I was like, the fucking respect for that, man. And then Ted was sitting here. He was like, he fucking sounds like Eminem, man. Like a lot like fucking Eminem.
Every single day.
Like, yeah,
I've gotten used to it. Like, I don't even like. I think most white rappers would be like, "Oh, I'm tired of being called Eminem." Like, I used to be like that, but I mean, it's still a compliment. Like, most people who don't listen to rap a lot hear an aggressive white rapper, they're like, "Oh, their brain just goes to Eminem." That's like Cannibal Corpse. Like, if you don't listen to heavy, brutal like metal like that, most people will be like, "Oh, it sounds like Slipknot or Cannibal Corpse," even though they don't technically sound like that, but like that's just what their brain does.
Totally, you're totally right, man. It's just relating things to what you know in fucking pop culture, right? At least you're not getting called fucking Mad Child.
Ooh, yeah, that would hurt.
Bro, you sound a lot like Post Malone. You got that fucking 3 packs of cigarettes a day sound.
Yeah, where's my fucking money?
You got that Bud Light tone, son.
Oh shit. You got that Bud Light tone, Posty.
You got that real fucking Newport fucking Light vibes, son.
You got them wife beater vibes, bro.
Bro, you got that. What, you trying to podcast with Joe Rogan, son?
Yeah. You got that listen to Jordan Peterson for like 17 hours straight vibe, bro.
I was giving my friend a hard time about Jordan Peterson, and he was not approving of that. He did not like that very much at all. But see,
I make fun of everything. I don't care.
Exactly. And you know what? Jordan Peterson takes himself way too fucking seriously to not be the target of lots of lampooning. Like, regardless of whether everybody, he's a fucking university professor for a reason, obviously, right? But like,
he's a nerd.
Yeah, he's a fucking nerd, man. He's a fucking nerd, and like, sometimes he says stuff where it's like, bro, you cannot be serious about just saying that. And then he gets shit on for it, and people start ripping on him, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to quit Twitter for my mental health. And it's like, no, bro, you're quitting Twitter because you're getting fucking roasted like a peanut.
Yeah. But I still, like, I've heard him say, like, pretty profound things, too. So it's like, he's like both sides of the coin, right? It's just, I find that, like, most of the people I meet who are obsessed with the dude, they got like a certain tone about they got that Bud Light tone.
Or exactly. They're trying to use some of the dumb shit he said out of context so they could justify their toxic fucking behaviors.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Jordan Peterson says this, and that's why I fucking hate women. And it's like, no, you got way out of text with that. But we're gonna push away from that. We're gonna get back, and I get off on these rants every once in a while. I apologize, buddy.
I do too, especially in the mornings. I'll get up and I'll just go off for like 3 hours about traffic.
Bro, that's just it. Like if I'm up, if you don't give me at least a fucking half hour to have a puff and a vape and then like maybe my first sip of coffee, you're gonna fucking get, and it's probably not gonna be nice. I'm probably not gonna be very fucking cheery trash talk about it. It's fucking gonna be like, you know what? This is the fucking problem with society today.
That's me unless I'm like 2 smokes deep. Then
There
I'm
you
like
go.
usually pretty chill.
Exactly. So let's get back into your tunes here. Where did the idea of Poltergeist OD come from? Like I've seen the Goosebumps tattoo on the neck. Like me and you met at Dis or Daps on May 27th, just recently. I had a great time. You guys were fucking awesome. You guys treated me great. Like the
Yeah,
tequila.
you were awesome. You were a good host, man.
I was a little nervous because it was the first time that I've been outside of Calgary, like as just the character Nate Trash without doing a show, like without being in a band and fucking doing a show. So
Right.
it was really weird for me to do that. And I was like, I'm in a different city, you know, I'm gonna make sure I be respectful and I don't fucking get drunk and act like a jackass because I don't want to make J Reds look bad. He's bringing me out here as a guest. I also want to like let these guys know who I am and come out again in the future. So I was a little bit nervous trying to play my cards right. And I missed a couple of good opportunities to say some fucking hilarious shit, you know?
Yeah.
Hindsight's
We're all about like, if you can say something funny, you have to.
Well, and that's just it. You know, next time I come around, I got a bunch of things I'm going to say now that I know how the feel is for it and everything. But I also was like, if I say something wrong and nobody laughs about it, and then they might take it as an insult, and especially because it was like Oilers just beat the fucking Flames in the playoffs, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure the bartenders could smell that I was from Calgary.
Yeah.
I walked up and one of them, like, I ordered my first drink and I like took the change and went to put it in my pocket and she like tapped on the tip jar with her fucking fingernails. And I was like, don't worry. Like, this is just my first shot. Like, I'm buying more drinks.
Damn.
It was good
So
though.
they like out the gate hated you.
Oh yeah. They're like, this fucking toothless prick with the face tattoo. He's definitely from fucking Calgary. Like,
There's no way he's not. Get him.
He's paying $12 for this fucking tequila shot for sure. And it ended up being like $8.50 or something. I was like, okay, I'll play this fucking game. But it was awesome.
That was a good night though.
I was like, you know what? Thinking back on it now, I was like, I should have been asking these fucking punk rock or these fucking rapper kids about death metal and punk rock. I should have been like, what the fuck is your favorite fucking death metal band, little wise guy? Like,
Yeah.
you listen.
Like, what do you listen to other than rap? Because we're always asking, like, who's your top 3 favorite rappers and blah blah blah.
Don't
Like,
worry.
whether they're good or bad, but it's always like the most like general answers, right? That you kind of would expect. Most people say J. Cole. But yeah, that's a good idea. Just like, what else do you listen to other than rap? Like, where else do you get your inspiration from? Because I do from like deathcore and death metal and shit like that.
So
Like, I hardly even listen to rap that much anymore, man. Like, I'll listen to shit if like my friends show me something dope. I'm like, oh, cool, I'll put that on a playlist or whatever. But I don't seek out rap anymore. Like, I seek out metal bands.
and see, I'm kind of the same way, but with like music in general. Like, I try to look for music that's exciting, that's not just or like a fucking just swallowed it and then spit it back out with your own saliva attached to it. Like, that's not what I'm about. Like, something new, something exciting, something fresh, something like, that's fucking odd. That's fucking weird. I haven't heard that before. I want to get another fucking flavor of that, right? So, like, I'm always about the heaviest, the fastest, the most extreme when I'm on stage, when I'm writing music, when I'm fucking getting ready for a performance. But when I'm looking for inspiration, I find that anywhere. Like, I found this guy on Instagram. His name's Wookie. And it's like WUKI. And I found him because he's a content creator, but he's also like a really like well-known DJ, I guess. He's got over a fucking million listeners on Spotify, right?
Nice.
So I checked out his little beats, and he does this thing, and it's like beats that I can't release. And they're fucking fantastic. So I started getting into EDM a little bit, and I'm listening to fucking hardcore like Little Texas and fucking who's another one? Keizo is another one too, and like that shit gives me inspiration because it's still got the same root to the music that I'm looking to inject my music with, you know, and getting those little nuggets from everywhere else instead of just like, oh, I like this band, I'm gonna pretty much write this band's fucking music, but then just like put a different round of lyrics on it, or I'm gonna take this riff and put it on the end instead of having it played in the beginning, and we're just gonna do it that way. So, you know, that's fucking see-through, man. That's plastic rap. Everybody can fucking see right through that shit, and nobody wants any of it, right? So you got to be real. You got to be real about your inspiration and where you get your music from. When did the horror movie, like, when did you start writing specifically about horror movies?
It was about 4, I want to say 5, but I don't think it's been 5 yet. I think it's like, let's say 4.5 years ago. These guys were making a Halloween documentary. It was the 20th or 25th anniversary of Halloween. And they wanted to make a fan-made documentary, and one of the guys who was like in charge of like the soundtrack of it was a fan of my music previously, which
Sick.
was like just general horror movie, not horror movie, but like horrorcore rap. Like I would always rap about like brutal shit, like what's the most fucked up thing I could say in this sentence or whatever, that kind of stuff. Yeah, he hit me up and he was like, what if you made a Michael Myers song for this documentary? I was like, okay, cool. What do you want? And he's like, do you think you could do it like from Michael Myers' perspective? Like, could Michael Myers rap for us? And I was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. So I hit up my guy, Mock Beats, he's a European producer. He's been working with me for a long time. I sent him the idea, and he, within like 3 hours, sent me back that Halloween beat. And I wrote the song, I think, within half an hour to an hour. I just like sat there, smoked a joint. I got into the vibe, and it was just like, it came so easily to me that I was like, okay, well, this is definitely a lane that I got to pursue, right? Like, this is something that I feel comfortable with. So I just started working on those, and I've been getting such a positive response from the horror community. Like, people who don't even listen to rap at all say that I'm the only rapper they listen to, you know, just because it's about horror movies and they're such a fucking nerd for it, you know?
You sit there with a pen and paper in like the back of a video case while they're like checking out your lyric videos, and they're like, yeah, checks out. This fucking checks out. Fucking right.
Yeah.
I don't like rap, but this guy knows his shit.
I'm like I'm not trying to impress other rappers. I'm trying to impress horror fanatics, like the nerds like me. Like, I'm a huge fan. I collect all kinds of stuff like that. And like the people who really know what they're talking about, those are the ones that I'm trying to get to. It's hard to find that fan base. Just like as a rapper, it's just hard to get people to even check out your music.
Well, for somebody, and I bring this up because I know a lot of people who do like the cult raps and the horror raps, but they hate being tied in with that same fucking fan base, because a lot of that fan base is, you get the fucking nerdy juggalos in there too, right? And you know, not shitting on juggalos, because everybody's allowed to like what they want to like, and ICP does a lot for their community as well. But when you're trying to write about horror movies and not just trying to write about like crazy, ridiculous murder raps and stuff, right? You really want to make sure you get directly to your audience so that you don't get that fucking spillover, right?
Yeah. And like the spillover kind of just happens naturally. Like, a lot of my fan base are juggalos and juggalo rappers and stuff like that. But I'm really trying to like get away from not the scene itself, but like the style of rapping that I started with, where, like you just said, general murder rap.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do that anymore. Like,
You're
I have
writing
like
about
a lane,
specific
like
movies.
a thing that I'm trying to hit now.
Yeah, like, and that you do that very well. Like, every one of your fucking raps that's about the movie has lots of solid content. You use scenery from the fucking movie, you use subject matter from the movie, names from the movie, you stick to that for the whole thing. You don't just try and take a piece of it, throw the imagery over top to try and get the people who notice what that imagery's from, and then try and attach to them to your like totally original out there idea that you think a whole bunch of people can relate to, but really they don't because they've never really heard your ideas before, right? Because a lot of music is released all the time, so it takes a long time to develop a fan base, not because it takes a long time for musicians to get good, but it takes a long time for musicians to get a body of content that can actually attract a fan base and keep that fan base satiated while new material is being written and released.
Yeah. Like a lot of people who just discover me, like this this dude discovered me yesterday and bought all of my songs on iTunes like within the hour. He was like, I'm going to listen to everything you've ever done now. And because I've been doing it for so long and I have built that catalog, he's able to do that and become a real fan and kind of like get my style and where I'm going. And like, so when my next song comes out, he knows kind of what to
Yes.
expect. And he knows already that he's, you know, got a general idea that he's going to like it.
And he'll be
like,
waiting
it's
for
not
it.
a bias. It's just like, I like what this guy does and I can't wait to check out more. And you always have to be doing something else. Like you have to have more all the time.
Yeah,
People will forget about you right away.
it's true.
Social media made sure of that.
It's very true. I actually watched this video today about TikTok and how TikTok is fucking destroying Generation Z because of the how quickly people scroll through the videos and the content within the videos, and then like the release of dopamine that comes from the website or that comes from the app is like turning kids into dopamine addicts and causing like high end
Instant gratification all the time at all times.
yeah, that cocoa melon shit for kids too. I don't know. My kid was raised a little bit weird. Like we didn't give her a soother as a kid. She never grew attached to any of that kind of stuff. Like she always liked to drink water. Never really had any big issues with her. And I think it's because like me and my ex, we were kind of weird kids growing up too, right? We didn't get all of this stuff. We didn't get cell phones when we were fucking 14 years old. We didn't get all these new fucking pieces of technology and stuff. So like when my kid was born, we weren't instantly trying to like satiate her. Like we knew we were going to have to take care of our kid, right? So when our kid cried, we'd try and figure out why she was crying instead of just giving her a soother to keep her quiet. And
Yeah.
a whole generation of those kids, spooky stuff, man. Spooky stuff. I'm not a scientist though.
What I find like as an artist, like as a content creator, the worst thing about TikTok is there's like hardly any real ways to brand yourself on TikTok. Like because like you said, people just scroll to the next. Let's say they follow whoever made that dumb dance or that funny video or whatever, they'll follow them. You can have 1 million followers on TikTok and nobody knows who the fuck you are. Nobody has any idea what you do, what you're about, what your brand is. If you have a logo, they don't know what it looks like. Like they just remember, oh, that's that funny guy who made that video, and they know nothing else, right? So like
It's weird. It's fucking
it's
weird.
building a lot of audiences where like they're kind of looking at you, but they're not really paying attention.
But if they do, like, okay, so like, for example, my friend runs Satanic Tea Co. Have you ever heard of Satanic Tea Company?
Yep.
So my buddy runs Satanic Tea Company. He's the face of Satanic Tea Company, and he said that the bulk of the sales right now are coming from fucking TikTok, from people clicking through from TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, and it's because of and I've started to get onto TikTok as well, and I'm just uploading my interviews because TikTok moved up to 10-minute videos and my interviews are under 10 minutes. So I've just started uploading my interviews and putting a couple headers on there. And the cool thing, like you said, though, there's a lot of people that will just kind of like follow you and not really have a clue who you are. They're just kind of like wanting to get that specific form of content from you. But there's sometimes you get people, like I got this one guy named Aiden who jumped on, and he lives in Lethbridge, and he's like, I had no idea there was a metal scene around here. I fucking love metal. I would love to get involved with the metal scene. I want to go to some shows. And so I was able to message him and get him in touch with like shows and send him posters and stuff. And it's like, that's the real fucking big thing, is getting out to people who are 100% outside of your circles.
And that's where the hard part of being an artist comes in. Like I said earlier, like finding that person, finding those 10 people out of 10,000 who are actually going to support you, who are actually like looking to be a part of the community themselves. Those people are so hard to find. And if it wasn't for social media, we'd be out in the streets. I'd be out in the rain right now handing out CDs. I used to do it all the time.
Yeah,
now
buddy.
I'm just in people's DMs going like, hey, man, I know random DMs suck and you don't even have to listen to it, but like, I know you're into horror movies. I saw that you were into rap. I know you like this rapper, blah, blah, blah. If you got like a minute to check out what I do, you might like it. And a lot of the times people just tell me to go fuck myself, or they'll just ignore me or whatever. I don't care. That's fine. On to the next person. And I'll message, God, I in like a good day when I don't have anything else going on, I could message 200 people a day on like all different types of social media platforms and make, 10, 20 fans on a good day.
Yeah, I know exactly how that is, man. I'm fucking right there with you. I do share your stuff. I do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And thank you so
because
much.
I know how important that is. I know how important a fucking comment is, a share, and I know how easy it is too, man. Like, people,
just takes 10 seconds to like, comment, share,
you
subscribe.
you don't even got to fucking send us any money. Like, you don't got to pay for fucking anything. You don't got to fucking get up off your fucking seat. You don't got to come out to a fucking show. You just got to click that fucking button, I tell people I'll give
us on a playlist every now and then,
Yeah.
stream one of our songs here and there.
Yeah.
Let Spotify know that we're still here.
Exactly. Like, I tell people, like, I'll give you a fucking shirt if you can go onto the page and send me a screenshot that you sent out 500 fucking invites.
Yeah.
Like,
I just gave away two of my personal Blockbuster DVDs that I got when I was like working there when I was a kid. They're actually getting sent to Holland, where I don't even think they'll play on their Region 2 players. Or I think they're Region 1. They're Region 1 and we're Region 2. I think it's either that or the opposite. But yeah, like, just the fact that I have a fan in Holland who entered this pre-save contest for this song that just dropped with Sonic. And like, now my DVDs are taking a huge trip. Like, one's from Edmonton, one's from Sherwood Park,
fucking rights, man.
It's cool for it to just make that trip, even if she doesn't even get to see the movies.
It is. That's the fucking thing, and that's what it is in the end. Because in the end, when you're done doing it all, then you're done. It's fucking done, right? So you got to enjoy the trip. You got to enjoy the experience as it's happening. It's like in that old book, Treasure Island. They found out that it was the friends they made along the way, or something along the lines of that, aside from the murder and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The real treasure from Treasure Island was the friends on the island, Corey.
The experience, right?
It was.
Dude, it's like, man, I'm at, 10K on Instagram now. I never even thought I'd have that. Like, that's a huge deal to me. Like, in my eyes, I made it. I got fans.
Yes.
I got like creative fans from across the world sending me fan mail. Like, this dude sent me a Jason mask that he painted with my logo on it. And like, I didn't ask for that. He didn't ask for money. He's just like, hey, I like your stuff. Here's what I do. And he just like shared that with me. And like, that is so cool, man. Like, that is the ultimate experience right there. And I could die tomorrow and still I had a happy life. I lived a good life, met a lot of awesome people. I played some awesome shows. I made the music I wanted to. I didn't sell out because somebody else didn't fucking like what I was doing. I did what I wanted whenever I wanted, and people are seeing it. People are recognizing it, and it's so awesome.
And you got a fucking sick DVD collection too, man. Like, fuck
yeah. You should see all my I gotta go through all of these. VHSs that
And
I
post
just
them.
acquired.
And post them all on Facebook one by one.
Yeah, one by one.
Where did you get all those tapes?
People just give them to me.
I love how your voice kind of cracked when you said that.
Yeah, like people will come over and they'll like see the collection room and they'll be like, "Oh, that's sweet. I actually have a box of VHSs or DVDs or whatever that I haven't watched in years. I was gonna either donate them or try to sell them. You can just have them." So I just like pile them up, and whatever I already own, I'll like go through, donate or sell. Um, I'm gonna try to get into like making art out of them instead, like building projects with my like doubles. Like I have like 6 VHS copies of Jurassic Park that if I don't donate them, there's no way I'm going to be able to sell them within a year or two. You know, they'll just sit on eBay forever. So I think I might like start looking up videos of like people who make VHS art. Like I saw a dude who makes lamps out of them, that's cool as hell.
Nice. Do you have a copy of The Air Up There starring Kevin Bacon?
If I do, I have no idea where it is. I know the movie you're talking about. I'm not sure if I have a copy. Maybe.
I fucking
Yeah,
loved that
somewhere.
movie when I was younger, man, and I don't know why. I don't fucking play basketball. I'm a fucking skateboarder, man, but for some reason, a fucking movie was just the fucking bee's knees. Poor Kevin Bacon and his fucking basketball career.
Did you see Hustle?
The newest one with Adam Sandler. No, I have
Adam
not yet.
It like reminded me of that movie a lot, but it's a good movie, man. I highly suggest it. I don't even like I'm not a sports guy at all. So like basketball movie, I'm like, yeah, whatever, but a bunch of people recommended it to me. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll check it out.
I'm not into dramatic kind of movies unless they're like overtly dramatic, right? Like if it's a movie about real life, I get fucking bored real quick.
Yeah.
I really do. But like, but then
feel that.
again, I was fucking nursing a hangover one day, and this was a while ago because like now in order to get hungover, you got to get drunk, and that takes a lot of effort for me that I really just don't like putting in. But I watched this fucking movie. It was Draft Day with what's his name? Fucking Kevin Costner, and he was a football manager or something, and it was draft day. They had to draft all the players, and it was like all filmed in like the style of fucking all filmed in one day. This is the whole day from start to finish. And I was like, I don't have a fucking clue about any of the shit they're talking about, but this is pretty intense. And I watched it from start to finish, and I was like, fuck, can't believe I watched that whole fucking movie and didn't turn it off. But I
I
don't
kind
like.
of felt that way about Hustle. There's like so many people, and I'm looking to my girl and I'm like, all these guys are probably like super famous basketball players, and I have no idea who any of them are. Like I recognized Shaquille O'Neal because I'm a '90s kid.
Well,
That's
and you
like
bet
the only one I recognize.
There's probably like industry guys in there too that are like, oh, that's the manager of this fucking team, or like,
Yeah,
That's-
huge people, and I'm like, I don't fucking know who any of these guys are.
hey, Adam Sandler's back on the screen.
Yeah.
Is he gonna play one of them funny songs yet?
Oh man, I miss those old albums.
Bro, I saw a picture of Adam Sandler in his trailer, and he had a whole bunch of guitars and shit, and people were like commenting on it like it was funny. And I was like, none of these people even know that Adam Sandler is like a fucking musician. Like he was a musician first.
He came up making silly songs. That's like how he got famous on SNL and everything like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I had fucking
Lunch Ladyland is a classic.
Yeah, I had They're All Gonna Laugh at You on CD, and I fucking played that thing until it was fucking broken. Like a buffoon gets beat up by a buffoon gets beat up by high school kids. And it was like the most brutal fucking and I'm like fucking 12 years old listening to this. I'm like, did they actually beat a guy up and record it?
Yeah.
Like, are you? And then I remember the buddy and guy one where they're like all on a train drinking together, and then like the train crashes, and then like they're all calling out for each other, and I was like, when is this gonna fucking end? Like, this is ridiculous. because I never heard about any sort of comedy recordings before. In my mind, comedy was like movies, cartoons, and then stand up comedy at 3 a.m. You know?
Yeah, just for laughs specials.
Yeah, and it's like you get all the fucking commentary in French, and then the fucking comedians are in English, and it's like, this is fucking ridiculous. But 3 a.m, I can't sleep. I'm gonna watch it.
Mm.
But yeah, I was like, this is what comedy is. Now that I'm older, I understand. Like back in those days, that's how they fucking pumped out their stuff, right? You can find vinyl. You can find Richard Pryor vinyl, and you can find fucking Eddie Murphy vinyl, and all them fucking comedians. There's tons of George Carlin vinyl out there, like all that stuff. But back in the day, man, comedy was a whole different beast. And Adam Sandler, he's been there through the thick of it. But one thing that I've known about Adam Sandler is he's always been into fucking basketball too.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's like a good player from what I've read too. Like he kicks people's ass at basketball.
This isn't even his first movie about basketball. Like 8 Crazy Nights was about basketball.
I think
Remember
it was
that one?
I think it was more about a drunk dude finding the meaning of Hanukkah. But
Yeah, fair enough. But like there's like a heavy basketball theme too,
it definitely is. Definitely is. And he does the voices. He does the voice of Whitey and his wife in that movie. And those voices are actually voices that he's used for characters in his old recordings too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can hear it in the way that he talks about, or the way in some of the phrases he says and stuff, and it's fucking ridiculous. It's like some of these kids these days don't even understand. Back when you had to hide your comedy like it was a porno magazine, right?
Yeah, back when comedy was like actually brutal.
Yeah, fucking rights, man. Nowadays,
And thought-provoking too. Like now, even if you are a really good comedian, there's nobody out there like breaking boundaries or like making people change their views or like change the way they see the world anymore, Like there's no George Carlins now.
what was that other guy's name too? Sitting right on the tip of my tongue. Everybody thinks that he's Alex Jones. You know who I'm talking about, right? Fuck. Ted's
No,
gonna
I don't
fucking
know, man.
smack me for not remembering who he was. But he used to do fucking really good comedy bits. One of his bits was about how I don't like gays, but I love lesbians. You know what I mean? Like how,
Mhm.
and he would talk about how like, oh, that's terrible, that's gross. But if it's two chicks kissing, hell yeah, And he did that bit back in like '87. And fuck, what was his name? He fucking smoked cigarettes like a fucking madman too. But thought-provoking comedy, really funny, biting shit. I think Ricky Gervais is one of the ones who's still kind of doing it, but because he understands the danger of like he sees that it's not gonna last for very long, and he sees that not a lot of people, because Ricky Gervais did the Oscars during the pandemic, and he was talking about how all the movie stars are friends with Jeffrey Epstein. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, boo. And he's like, no. He's like, I know he was your friend, but you don't have to boo me for it. And like, you're going off about it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you do. You fucking punch up, you punch up. You don't fucking punch down and pick on LGBTQ or pick on fucking poor people, You're supposed to fucking punch up with comedy. But nowadays you get comedians that are cracking jokes about people who are sensitive to certain political fucking things, and it's like, bro, that's supposed to be your fucking fellow man. That's not your oppressor. You're not cracking down on your oppressor with funny jokes like a fucking old court jester in medieval times was, right? And that's what the court jester would do. The court jester would fucking crack down on all the royals and wouldn't be able to kill him for it. Whereas if anybody else said any of that stuff to the upper class, they'd get their fucking hands cut off or they'd get their fucking feet boiled in oil or something, Yeah. So,
I mean, there was a lot of comedians back in the day too. If you make like poor jokes or like ghetto jokes, like growing up in the shit, you better have come from there, right? Like, you better know what you're talking about. Like, I grew up poor. Like I make fun of like I grew up a poor newfie. I make fun of poor newfies all the time because like I know what I'm talking about, man. I know that life, but it's like I don't know, man. Sometimes you can see through that too, right? Like people who just like put on the attitude, put on a character.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because like how am I supposed to feel about that personally? Because my character Poltergeist is not me. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a serial killer. I'm not Freddy Krueger, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like what I do is fake, but I feel like because what I do is about horror movies and it's about something that I love and so it's so dear to me that like that's real, right?
Yeah. It is. It
It's got
definitely is. Like
I'm not trying to put on a character for anybody else. I'm doing this because it's like something that I really like doing.
well, and that's an artistic outlet, right? Like when it gets to the point of making fun of like things that you know, that's when you create the character that you have in the form of yourself, and then you make fun of yourself. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm always talking about like the ridiculousness of having a face tattoo and not having any teeth, and I'm always fucking bringing that stupidness onto myself because that's who I am. Even though there is a class of people behind me that are like that, I'm pulling that fucking fire directly onto myself because I can handle that, you know. In some cases, I am respected by my peers. You know, I'm probably not respected by a few of my peers too. Like, I know there's a handful of people out there that watch every one of my stories. They follow every one of my posts, and they check on everything I'm doing just so they can be the first ones there to laugh at me when I fucking fail. And that's okay because those are the people that are driving up my views
They're
and shit.
helping you.
Those are
It's like
those ones
they
are
think
more
they're there to
loyal.
tear you down, but by doing all of that, they're literally helping the algorithm show you to people that will appreciate you.
Yeah, they're more loyal than like a lot of people who I know are like ride or die for everything I fucking do, right? And
Mhm.
I think it's fucking hilarious, but I always shoot at myself before anybody else. But then when you get I do that in a way so I can see who's laughing about it. And then if the wrong person fucking laughs about it, they're the ones who are getting the fucking target next. Because you can see a certain class of people or a certain section of people in the group that you're with who are laughing to be your friend, and then the ones who are fucking laughing to try and get something in on you, right? And then it's like, all right, well, you're going to be the target of the fucking harassment next so that we can see
Yeah.
what kind of person you are. So we can see what kind of strength what kind of weakness you have, you know? Because when you show those kinds of vulnerabilities in jokes and expressions in music and shit like that, you got to make sure you're doing it pure, and then you got to make sure you find the ones who are trying to fucking who are trying to weasel their way in to try and maybe bring you down or to try and fucking suck away at your energy. And you got to make sure you keep an eye on those ones because they could be valuable. They could be really fucking valuable, but they
Yeah.
could also,
Who knows? I mean, like you could even just befriend them.
and that's
Like
the,
I've had people who started out in this scene who hated my guts at first. They like just didn't like my style. They didn't like who I was. They saw me out at parties, drunk, stumbling around. They were like, "Oh, fuck that guy." But then, like you see each other around for a little bit and like you get to know each other. And like I've actually befriended a lot of people who used to hate me
yeah.
just because of that, just because they were around me, and like I don't know, like you can probably listen to my music and get a general idea that like I'm just a movie nerd. Like I'm not a gangster, I'm not a hater. I'm not trying to like stomp on anybody. I'm not trying to like be a culture vulture. I'm just a movie nerd. I found some kind of outlet to express that and it's working for me.
So the IMDb article,
Yeah, from that was from Dread Central. They're like a huge horror community.
that's fucking dope. That's one of the so I've been reading some books about like getting fan bases and promoting properly and like the music industry and stuff, and that's one of the biggest things that they talk about when doing your own sort of press and stuff is is submitting to your niche markets instead of just submitting to more music outlets, you know? One of the examples they gave was like, oh, you're in a hipster klezmer band. Maybe you should submit to like an old barber shop magazine. And then this guy likes to throw in analogies like, you should fucking go clean his garage. Like, if you want a big producer to produce your album, go ask if you can clean his garage.
This buddy of mine, he tagged me. I think it was like Sonic, like the radio station here in Edmonton. They were doing some kind of contest looking for like new artists, upcoming artists here. And my buddy kept tagging me like, "Hey man, you should submit one of your songs." Like, and I'm just like, no, maybe I should have just for the hell of it anyway. But I was just like, man, these people are not gonna like my stuff. I'm just wasting my time and their time. Because like I know for a fact, like Sonic 102.9 or whatever it is, like they're not gonna hear a horrorcore song about Pumpkinhead, some 80s cheese flick, you know, and be like, "Oh, this is a banger. The public needs to hear this." Like,
Oh, he said
I
fuck.
know that I got a niche audience, and it's just finding them is like that's the tough part.
I love my homies. I love it. I love my homies. I fucking love my fans. I love the supporters. But I really fucking hate the ones who come up and just give the fucking stupidest out there ideas. It's like, I appreciate you trying to participate, but my fucking grindcore band isn't gonna go play your fucking small town rodeo. Okay?
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be awesome if you guys did,
bro, you guys should go see if you could fucking open this fucking slam poetry reading at this coffee house, man. Yeah, it's like, all right. You gotta fucking sit down for a sec, and you gotta listen to the conversation before you jump into the conversation. Okay, it's like skipping rope. Okay, you gotta wait before you jump in, or else you're gonna get fucking tangled up in the fucking rope. We're not gonna go fucking. Oh man, or like, okay, so my stepdad. You guys should do a cover. All right, Dallas, what do you got? You guys should do a cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh no. I wouldn't even know how to respond to that. I just
But put your own spin on it.
I will.
So for me, I analyze these things. I've looked into covers for the band and shit. Like, we've looked at all this stuff. We got a very, very, and this is one thing my stepdad doesn't know, because he looks at me. He still, in my mind, doesn't really take me seriously, what I'm trying to do and what I've already accomplished and what I'm fucking been doing. Because, me, who I am, I don't do any of the things that he does. Like, I don't value high paying jobs, and I don't fucking have my license, and I'm not super concerned about fucking getting my license, getting a vehicle or anything like that. So he doesn't really pay attention to the stuff I do. He just takes for the surface value. But he's like, you should cover The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And I was like, why? He was like, you can put your own spin on it, though. I'm like, Dallas, that song has been done to death. It's been done about booze. It's been done about weed. It's been done in Jamaica. It's been done in Florida. It's been done in fucking Miami. Like, the devil has been in every southern state, and he has fucking done every substance in a competition for a fucking musical instrument. And he's like, I know, but like, I think you guys could really kill it, And this is why I love my stepdad, because he is not saying it just to be a part of the conversation. He's saying it because he's like, I think
he legit thinks it's a good idea.
Yeah, but he's not like taking into consideration the fact that like we are experienced and we're not like really hunting down random ideas, But it's like, yeah. He's like, you could do it really good, And I'm like a fucking death metal guttural vocalist. Like, I'm not doing The fucking Devil Went Down to Georgia, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, I would feel so corny doing something like that. Like, I purposely make some songs, like I did a Mars Attacks song, and because it's such a corny movie, like I made my song like silly and corny and kind of stupid on purpose. But like, there's one thing creating something yourself that way, and there's one thing like it's another when somebody asks you to do something that's like completely out of your realm that like you just
Yeah.
know wouldn't work for you.
It's like, why?
Like that's like somebody coming to me and being like, "You should cover an Eminem song. Do Superman." Like I don't think so.
And, you know, like, oh, hey, you do music. Yeah, I listen to this kind of music.
Yeah.
They're both music types.
You whiskey in the jar, dude. Metallica fucking nailed it.
You play any instruments, man? You know, you think you would look really good on stage with an instrument. It's like,
Yeah. Oh my God. You will never understand the pain you feel when somebody goes, "Oh, you do music? What instrument do you play? Or what band? What's your band called?" And I go, "Oh, I'm a rapper." And then they look at you like you just kicked their dog. They're just like, "Oh, okay,
like they
that's
just
cool."
smelled
Like,
something weird. Like,
yeah. They're like, "Oh, you're a rapper? Okay, never
what the
mind."
fuck is?
I thought you made real music.
Yeah, I get that. So I get the oh, we got Audie in here too.
What's up, Audie?
Our buddy he's coming to the Metal Fest with me this weekend.
Nice.
I've been trying to get him over here for the last like 3 days so we could talk about what gear we're gonna need and what time we're gonna have to leave, and like I gotta get more gear and stuff too, and he just like keeps sidestepping me. So hopefully he'll fucking show up tomorrow. Audie, fucking show up tomorrow. Come in, Audie, please.
Who you guys gonna go see?
So I got brought on as marketing manager for Decimate Metal Fest at the beginning of the month.
Okay, yeah.
And I know you'll show up, Audie. It's all good, buddy. I'm just fucking razzing you, bro. I know you fucking hurt your finger and you've been dealing with work, so I'm just giving you a hard time, brother. But yeah, Decimate Metal Fest. She brought me on last minute to try and help pump up the fucking numbers before the fest hits, and she's said, well, Sloan Vox from Decimate Metal Fest, Vox Productions, Siren. Shout out to Sloan. She said she'll give me a couple of passes so I can come and do some interviews and set up my stuff. And I got this sexy little Rodecaster Pro mixer and stuff. So I can set this up, and I got some new microphones, and I've got all the necessary cables I need, so I can actually set up a table and do interviews, and I can like do my on-location radio show type thing with Trash Talk and get interviews and get content and record some of the bands and stuff too.
That's awesome.
So he's going to come out and hang out, and he's going to meet some of the homies, and he's going to fucking pass around his proverbial business card. If you got business cards, Audie, fucking hand them out. Yeah, I'm going to try and intermingle these scenes and try and, like, we got a lot of rebuilding to do after the last couple of years. So it's time to get everybody involved with everybody else. It's all fucking live entertainment, and it's time to fucking get everybody stoked about shit again.
Definitely. I'm also like, man, like I grew up in the metal scene, and then like recently in the last like I'd say 12 years, I got into the rap scene, and they're like two separate entities. Like my rap friends hate my metal friends, my metal friends hate my rap friends. And all I want to do is just be like, why can't we all get along? You know, like, why can't we all just hang out and go to shows together?
That's right. That's all right. That's what I'm trying to do. That was like a big part of that was coming up and doing Dis or Daps was like, yeah. we're crossing this shit over.
And we should do it again soon.
We're going to. So this is the thing. I'm going to be up there for a show. Let me check my fucking Cali right now. So I'm going to be up there in August for a show. And it's going to be supposed to be up there August 20th or August 19th. Oh, and for fucking, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go up there for the fucking music video shoot for fucking Ric Flair Flow.
Oh, with Audie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'll probably see you there then.
So, and that's Canada Day. That's a fucking Friday. Like, and
yeah, that's like next Friday, right?
Yeah, that's fucking.
That's the day my next song's launching too. So
Oh
That's,
man.
that's gonna be a busy day for all of us, I think.
Next fucking Friday. Good Lord, Audie.
And Dis or Daps is later that night too because it is a Friday. Are you coming to that?
So
Since you're gonna be in.
Audie's like, I will fucking take you up there with me to come be in the music video. And like, he's going off in the fucking in the comments right now about it. She's like, I'm shooting the first and the second. And it's like, oh man. So we'll have to see what happens because I'm supposed to get my kid next weekend.
Okay.
But I might be able to talk to my family members that live in Sylvan Lake. And maybe my daughter can spend the weekend in Sylvan Lake. But we'll have to see. Before that, though, we're gonna get into that a little later. Me and Mr. fucking audiologist will talk about that tomorrow when we meet up. And right now, I want to talk about your new song that just fucking came out. I want to talk about that horror movie rental tune that you did with Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
How did this song come about? Who hit up who? I'm guessing Sonic hit you up because it was released through his channels.
Yeah, well, I get most of my music mixed and mastered by Sonic. I've known him for years. I've helped him like work on some video shoots and stuff like that. So like we've been friends for a long time. And he made a beat one night and he titled it Something Pulte Could Fuck With and just like sent it to me randomly. And he's like, "You think you could do something to this? I don't know if I can." And I was like, "Yeah, let me see." And it was like 2 weeks later, he said he like wrote and recorded a verse where he references all these horror movies and he wants to do like an old school, like back and forth song where it was just one verse, a little blip, then another verse, and the song's over, right? And I don't know, he sent it to me, I would say about a week and a half ago. And I wrote my verse that day, recorded it. A few days later, he already had the artwork and everything done up. He did like most of the promoting. And yeah, it was all his idea. He just like came to me. He's like, "I made this beat and I don't know what to do with it." I was like, "I think I can do something." And then eventually he was like, "No, fuck it, I got it."
Nice. Fuck yeah. I
Yeah,
like
and
his
it
style.
flowed together so perfectly too. Like I think it's a great track. I've listened to it a bunch now. Like it's not even just like, you know how some people will like listen to their own music just judging it. Like I'll just vibe to the track because I think it's good.
Yeah, I've been in that situation where it's like I just finished recording a song. I don't want to fucking listen to this song ever again. But
Yeah, I do that all the time. I'll put out a song and then like 2 weeks later, I've heard it so many times. I just like notice all the things I would have done differently now. And it's just, yeah, I start to hate my own shit.
yeah. Um so how many songs do you think you have out so far?
Oh, well, I think I got a 15 track album called Keep It PG I did in 2015, which I hate now, but I
It,
can't take it down because people tell me they love it.
is it full of peas and poos?
Oh man, it's just like,
Oh, that
oh, I
shit's too scary for me, man.
can't. There's that. We did a mixtape with Obscene Division, which I believe is 12 more tracks. And I've just been doing singles. So, like in the horror saga, where it's like specifically about horror movies, I think I'm at 14 of those now. And yeah, oh God,
Nice. I,
I got a bit of a catalog now.
I was watching videos, industry videos today, and one of the things that they talked about was how many songs it takes before you get like noticed, before you have a good catalog to develop a fan base behind. And they said roughly 32 songs is what it takes.
But that's like I've known people to put out like two singles, pump a shitload of money into it, and actually make it somewhere just from that. And I know people who've been in the underground scene for 30 years and they're still not famous, like
It's true.
only like, underground obsessed kids like me heard of them.
Yeah, and see, this is also a thing that goes with like personality and where your drive lies, right? So like what I'm starting to find working behind the scenes and like managing bands and doing my own stuff in a different way is that a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, a lot of creators, they don't put enough energy in all of the avenues that come with being what you want to be. So like a lot of creators, they want to be working creators. So a working creator is somebody who makes money for what they create. They create on a regular basis. They know how to adapt all the promotion to all their creations, and they know how to keep a constant flow of release. So what happens is a lot of these creators that want to be working creators only work on creating. They create every day. They create good shit. They release it, but they don't do anything else. They don't have any clue how to do press releases. They don't have any clue how to do promotion cycles. They don't have any idea how to run a feeler single or like a feeler EP out, a demo EP, and then find out which song hits the best and then like write a bunch around that style that was in that song, you know. They don't know how to do pre-production. And then they wonder why their shit doesn't go anywhere. And it's like, well, it's because there's a lot more work involved with it. Like when you got a lot of money, you can pay a publicist and a booking agent. And
Yep.
they will, your publicist, so you release with your publicist develops your promotion campaign around your whole release. You give them $5,000. They do that for like a fucking year. That goes, your fucking listens go up to 6 fucking figures. And then all of a sudden, because you got those numbers up, you can fucking start shopping for booking agents.
Yeah. And like, man, I would say about 30 songs or so to even like develop your style.
Yep.
Because like what I'm doing now is so different from like 2012 to 2017, you know, like I don't rap like that anymore. I don't sound like that anymore. I don't even know if I tried. So like you develop your style over time and you realize who you are as a creator as well. So like, yeah, I would say like not even to just make it, but to just like find out who you are and what you want to really do.
You're totally right, man. Like I can even say in my own situation, my band, we released our first EP in October, so we're only in 5 songs. Like we got a new single coming out, and our new EP that we're on has entirely different vibes, and it's still got the same sounds, but we're working with like glitched fucking digital interludes and shit now that like got weird hip hop sounds to them and stuff, and like some weird EDM vibes and some like almost I like I like to call it the late 90s early 2000s new metal vibes, you know, where everything was a little bit fucking dark alley in the rain in New York, you know, like a Batman scene, like an industrial factory fucking party on the fucking original Blade movie. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
good shit. The good shit. So that's true, man. The growth. You gotta grow. You gotta release shit too. Like I know people who haven't released music in fucking years and they're still playing shows and they're still fucking like pounding the pavement, and it's like you guys are putting so much money and so much fucking work into this, and you're like getting very little back from it other than a booking here and there. It's like, what's the fucking point of that?
If you don't have a next song or a next step or a next show, if you don't have the next thing, personally, I'll go nuts. Just, I don't know, maybe
Same
it's
here,
ADHD. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed for anything, but I will go nuts if I don't have something else to work on next.
Exactly. I don't, because if I was to sit here and just go to work, come home, go eat supper, go to bed, and go to work, if that was, and then like, you know, obviously I got my family and I love my family, but that's not really like creating anything and putting it out into the world and like seeing how people react to it, you know, like.
Mm-hmm.
When you raise a child, that's very inward, and in my mind, if I'm not creating something and living to my fullest, then I'm not really showing my child or being a role model for my child and showing my child what they're capable of. So that stagnation has never sat well with me, and I used to stifle it with drugs and like playing shows all the time. I got in my first band when I was 17, and we played shows like almost every weekend for fucking 10 years, man. Like we went fucking hard, and all I got from that was a mean hangover.
Yeah.
You know,
I
because
mean, you get the stage experience too, right? Because like stage presence is a lot of the game too. Like I know I've developed a lot of my local fan base just for, being so crazy on stage, and like I'll jump into the crowd and start moshing with people while I'm rapping in their face. Like a lot of that, just like you would have never knew that stuff like that works. Well, I mean,
yes.
it works for my genre, but I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have shitty shows that like went bad because I
And
like
yeah,
just stood there trying to remember my lyrics.
yeah, that's right. And like that's one thing I can say for myself too. Like I might not be a very good looking guy, but I know my way around a fucking stage with a microphone. Like, and I can go, I can fucking, I ain't even freestyle to fucking breakdowns if somebody gives me a microphone, just because I've been doing it for so long and I've been listening to this kind of music for so long and creating it for so long that when I started the new band, it wasn't really a new band for me, you know? And it's just came very, very easy. And because I have my own style, I'm very comfortable with it. I have my own way of doing things, but not releasing shit, that you get that fucking stagnation, and then people don't have a clue. People don't even know, and then you're playing, and then all of a sudden a new generation comes along, and nobody's coming out to your shows. Nobody's coming out to your
Yeah.
shows. Nobody's
You're
buying
all
your
of a
shit.
sudden the old guy standing in the back with his arms folded, going like, "I used to run this town."
Yeah, Audie said the stagnation. He said he's been loving Dis or Daps because it's given him a great outlet to express and create on his time off.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to stay on the releases myself. So the research that I've been doing has been telling me 6 weeks to get to a professional industry standard. There needs to be a new content release every 6 weeks, whether it be a new video, a new song, something new that you can rally a promotion around that will keep garnering new people to come to your catalog or your fucking platform of music or creation, right?
You can even take something old, like I do lyric videos.
Yes.
You can take an old song like 3 years
And
old,
just make
get,
new
like
content.
new lyric video dropping, and like just add like that extra pop to that song and just make it stand out again in a new way. So like you don't always really have to be creating, but you have to be doing something.
Yes.
It doesn't
Something
always have
fucking
to be
new.
new, but it has to feel new.
Exactly. A new piece of merch to go along with it, you know? Like that, oh, I'm going to play this fucking show and I fucking haven't played this place before, you know?
Hook up with a DJ, get them to remix your song and promote together.
Yeah, buddy. That's the fucking good shit. One of the hardest things that I find, though, at least in my case, is finding people who promote as hard as I do all the time. And I'm sure a lot of people who follow me and stuff, like I know a lot of people are like, bro, you're oversaturating yourself. You fucking promote too much. You do too much of this. You do too much of that. And it's like, well, you might be saying I do too much, but my shit's been growing and I've been hitting fucking goals and checking off milestones since I started. So,
and you're doing it because you love it anyway. So.
well, and that's the thing is like this is scratching a fucking itch for me, you know. And I know that there's people out there that enjoy what I do. I just have to find those people, and the only way I'm gonna find those people is by cutting through the motherfuckers who are fucking standing there watching me, waiting for me to fail to try and hit the people behind them, you know? And I'm fucking cool with everybody watching me, waiting for me to fail. I can give a fuck. They're not fucking there when I succeed, so they don't pay attention when I fucking succeed. They're just waiting for me to fail, because if they were paying attention, they'd see that I'm knocking shit out every couple of weeks. Like,
I mean, like in this industry, when you're a creator, the only real way to fail and the only real way that they win is if you stop.
yeah. It's like you jumped into my brain and took that thought out. I've actually told like 2 people this week that exact same fucking sentence. Like it's only done when you stop. And that's a lot of people don't understand how much of a longevity game this is. Like if you do it well, and you do it longer than other people, then what's going to happen is slowly you are going to make your way up to the fucking top just
And
for
then
being there.
you're that guy, right?
Yeah, just for being there, you know,
Yeah.
and just for going with it and doing it. Trust the process. In the end, you got to trust the process.
I mean, me with like my horror movie raps. There's a metalcore band called Ice Nine Kills,
Oh my
and like,
goodness. That's my old lady's favorite band ever.
nice, yo. My producer Squib works at the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon, and he actually got to meet up with them on their tour because they like came in just to visit, and he's like, "Oh man," and he asked them if they've ever heard of me, like Poltergeist OD, and their guitar player, I forget what he said his name was, but he was like, "Yeah, man, I've heard of that guy. He just put out a Leatherface song," and I was like, "Those fucking guys know who I am. They're sick." And
Oh,
like
that's
to
deadly,
me, like
babe.
I made it in my
I
eyes that
guess the
day. I was
guitar player
stoked.
knows this guy because he does horror movie raps and stuff, right? Oh, that's that fucking 6 Degrees of Separation. Yeah, that's my old lady's
Yeah,
favorite fucking band ever. And like,
that's it.
I'm not.
Our buddy Nemadian in Obscene Division, he's got a huge Ice Nine Kills tattoo on his leg and shit. Like, and like those guys are like the metal version of me. Like all their songs are about horror movies. All their videos are like
Yeah.
horror movie oriented.
And
And
he
so like they're
fucking.
those guys. So like me with the rap, there's nobody else really out there doing that. So like if I just keep on this track that I'm on, I keep building slowly but surely, I'll be that guy. I'm the rap guy. I'm the guy who raps about horror movies, you know? And like it doesn't take much. All it just takes is like
Consistency.
you put the time in. Yeah,
Yeah.
consistency. You just
Yeah.
keep at it, keep working, you never stop. People are gonna tell you you're whack anyway, but like fuck them.
I don't fucking care. I could care less, man. Like,
Yeah.
you can
Whatever.
never.
I'm whack as shit. I don't care.
I am too, man. I am too. But you know what? I've kind of settled into my whackness.
Yeah,
And
be
it,
the whackness.
yeah, you know, be the whackness. I think I'm gonna get that tattooed on my cheek.
Shit. That would be amazing.
Fuck yeah, man. I like that a lot. That's that 6 Degrees of Separation shit. I never really got into Ice Nine Kills because I like my music like primal and intense, and I like 80s hardcore and shit. Old punk rocker till I die. Or I like 90s New York fucking boom bap, man. Like I've been listening to this 90s fucking hip hop playlist, all New York rappers, and it's like 60 hours long. Like, I'm gonna
Damn.
fucking get through this fucking thing. I fucking for sure am. But I watched some of the Ice Nine Kills videos when I was drunk one night. I was like, fuck me.
They're top-notch videos.
These guys are good. And then I find out that the vocalist is the one who does all the video production and he's the one who writes all the shit. I'm like, you know, they fucking cracked Jacoby Shaddix's head with a fucking axe in one of the videos. You know, like, I'm all for the fucking frontman of Papa Roach getting his head cracked with an axe. You know, like, that's what it's all about. So I got to give them the respect because they put in the hard work. They fucking do what's necessary to get their specific image out. And like, huge respect to that, regardless of whether I enjoy their content or not. I can respect that work.
Yeah, it's like ICP too. Like I used to listen to ICP when I was younger. I don't so much anymore, but I respect the hell out of their marketing.
Yeah,
Like they literally created one of the most loyal hardcore fan bases in the world in any genre and are still going strong 35 years in the game, you know? Like
yeah.
it's wild. And like their fans love their shit. Like they will buy anything with that little Hatchet Man guy on it. And
Yep.
like, man, one could only dream of having a fan base that strong.
Dude, I was fucking watching this documentary and it was, or no, it wasn't a documentary, it was a podcast. It was that Hot Box one with Be Real where they jump in his car and they smoke a bunch of blunts. And Shaggy and Violent J were on it and they were talking about that, about their their huge fan base, but how like tight knit it is and how like it's a fucking brick wall. Like there's rappers inside that fan base that are making careers, and like careers where they fucking are able to buy houses and support their families off of just releasing in the Juggalo fan base and just releasing their music to that fucking fan base. Like they've created their own kind of economy just under that genre. But the brick wall, as in like, for a fucking Juggalo rapper to try and release his shit in the mainstream, it will fall flat and they'll get fucking blackballed. And for an
that's why, like, if you're not a Juggalo rapper, you don't want to specifically cater to that community
that's
either.
that brick wall.
Like, it goes both ways, because if you do, then you're just considered a Juggalo rapper, and anybody who's not into that scene won't even bother with you.
Exactly. That brick wall goes both ways, man. You can't get in and you can't fucking get out. Like, it's one of those, it's wild. It's an island. It's like a landlocked fucking island, man. It's insane. And those two guys, they're getting old now too. And they were like fucking backyard wrestlers when they were young, and they were in the fucking WWE for a bit. And they're like really down to earth fucking dudes. And, Shaggy 2 Dope is one of the funniest motherfucking content creators I've ever seen. He's fucking hilarious. Like, those guys are very self-aware. They know exactly how corny people fucking perceive them. They know exactly how long they've been doing it and wearing the makeup and how fucking stupid that might seem to people. And it's fucking great how they ride that out. And I can respect that a lot, man, because they were declared a fucking gang by the fucking FBI, you know, like a legitimate fucking gang. If you're a Juggalo, you're in a fucking gang.
Could you imagine you're a rapper, or like you're just any kind of creator, and you create a fan base so hardcore and dedicated to you and just you that the world considers it a gang?
And it's a word they fucking made up too.
Yeah. Like that's unbelievable. Like I mean, like I know Tech9, like he has like technicians or whatever, and I know people who like won't listen to music outside of Strange Music. Like, if it's not on Tech9's label, they don't even care. They don't
remember them
it.
corny ass fucking Battle Axe Warriors.
Yeah, Swollen Members?
Yeah, man. I actually had fucking Baxwar email me and ask me to join their cult.
I got that too. I think that was just like
one of those,
just like reaching out to the music community. Maybe
you can buy a bot. You can buy a bot that does that.
Yeah.
Audie is a Baxwar. Like, Audie is a Baxwar. I used to
listen to Swollen Members a lot back in the day. Like, I used to love them, and then like the Baxwar thing like really took off here in Edmonton. I don't know how it was out where you are, but like, yeah, it was massive here.
So I don't know if it was really big in Calgary. The rappers that I knew here in Calgary were Juggalos, man. Like Adam Satanic, and then I knew like the Alberta Murderers and shit, like Cap D. And
I actually still have my old Alberta Murderers shirt.
Yeah, see, like we did a show with the Alberta Murderers and fucking Nige the Killer and his crew.
Psych Ward Kids.
Yeah, this was like 2011, I think. And it was in Quincy's, which is fucking, it was torn down years ago, and they put a fucking tower there. And yeah, man, it was Satanic. It was the Alberta Murderers. It was the fucking Psych Ward Kids. There was a couple other randoms scattered in there. And World Class White Trash played a fucking metal set like before the headliners.
And we gotta do more like variety shows where we do like, there's like a hip hop block, there's a metal block, there's a folk block, country block, and then like EDM artists later on in the night, you know, like we got to do more. Like, I mean, like you kind of get that at festivals anyway, like Intersect Art Music Festivals kind of like that regardless.
Yeah.
But like we should do it more with like the smaller local shows.
I'm actually planning on that.
2 hip hop guys, 2 metal bands, 2 folk bands, and like 2 DJs at the end, you know like something like that. Right.
Now that Audie's in the fucking chat here, I can tell him that he's actually booked for my first fucking variety show. I haven't told him yet.
Oh, there you go, bud.
So I'm Audie I'm gonna be talking to the blind beggar about doing a variety show, and it's gonna be that exact thing, but with a little bit of the podcast flair thrown in. But I'm not ripping off Dis or Daps. I'm gonna do it as an interview. I'm not gonna try and set it up as like a fucking real deal show podcast, you know? I'm just going to see about interviewing one of the artists maybe and then getting everybody to play and introduce everybody and shit like that. I'm still batting it around in my head. But the idea centers around doing different shit, like not just having metal bands, you know,
Yeah.
mixing
We
shit
gotta mold
up.
all these like different communities together and make one scene, you know? You don't like nobody sees Alberta as like a big music scene, you know, like they do other places. Like you see New York and like they have like a huge rap scene. Like Seattle's known as like a music town, and like we should have something like that because there's so much talent in this province alone and like the surrounding area. We can do it. We just need to get away from like our egos or our division and just fucking make some music together and hang out. Like,
Everybody's
I don't
scared
know
and
what the
jealous.
problem is.
Everybody's scared and jealous. This is what I think. I think everybody is they're either intimidated because they think everybody is better than them and they don't see the value in what they do, which is a sin. Because if you have the ability to learn songs, to practice them well enough to go out and perform them, then you deserve as much respect as anybody else who's doing the exact same thing. But
Yeah.
musicians are very self-conscious about these things, so they're not going to see themselves as better than anybody else. So when it comes to collaborating or comes to finding a musician outside of their genre, they don't really have the confidence to go and interact with these people, and they don't have like, I don't know what I'm going to talk to them about, because you don't just run up to them. It's like when you ask a girl on a date when you're in high school. You know what I mean? What if they say no? What if they take my guitar and they stomp on it right in front of me and then
What if they
spit on
don't
it?
like rap?
Yeah, exactly. What if they think my rap songs are too much like Eminem?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like, I always have, like, because I have offensive music, so, like, I always kind of, like, have to warn people, depending on the person I talk to. Like, I wouldn't warn you about my lyrical content, but if I'm talking to a person, I'm like, oh, they seem pretty normal. I better warn them, like, hey, this is pretty, like, hardcore content, by the way. Like, you might want to
Yeah, and you
brace
get,
yourself for something you
yeah.
might not like.
You get people that are so excited to hear your stuff too, and you can tell right from the jump. You're like, how do I explain to this person that they are not gonna fucking enjoy anything that I have to create?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I've straight up like been at parties and like, oh, can you put on one of your songs? I want to hear it. And I'll put on a song and they're like, okay, yeah, it's not really my thing. And like
it's like, I
I'll
knew
feel that
this.
and like it sucks to hear, but at the same time, like you gotta understand that not everybody's gonna like your shit.
I've had people like that too, like, oh, show me one of your songs, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? You don't want to show us your music? It's like, well, I want to show people my music, but like I want to show people who I know are going to enjoy that music because they're already enjoying that type of music. You know,
Mm.
like I got people like I'm friends with lots of people in the scene in Calgary. I find myself pretty fucking involved with like a little bit of every aspect, maybe not on an individual level, but as far as bars go, as far as people in the scene, like I'm familiar with the fucking scene in Calgary. So I get people who I know are involved with certain types of music, and we meet up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, let me check out one of your songs." And it's like, why? You don't do this kind of stuff. Like I know it's gonna fall flat because if we're already interacting and we already know each other based on the work that we do, then you would have already come across what I do. You know, you already know my show, you already know my branding, you already know everything. You would have come across my band already. Why are you putting me on the spot like this? Like, I know you're not going to like this I know you're not going to like this tune. And it's like,
Mm.
all right, well, I'll put it on for you. And sure enough, You get that shit.
Yeah.
Just
No,
smelled
it's not my
something.
thing. They always say the same thing. Well, it's not really what I
It's
like.
What the fuck?
They're not going to tell you it's whack, even though they think that.
And
Not
it's,
to your face, at least. They'll wait till they get home on Facebook or whatever to tell you that. But
well,
like,
yeah, and they'll do it on Facebook expecting you not to fucking know. And it's like, bro, like, you know, I told you weren't going to like it. Like, I appreciate you putting the fucking saying like, oh yeah, I want to listen to it out of like to make me feel better. But you don't need to make me feel better and try to listen to my stuff. Like, I know the audience that I'm going for with what I create. So if I know that you're not in that audience, I'm not going to be hurt when you say that you don't like my shit. It's like, okay, good. It's not for you.
a lot of people are afraid to tell you the truth too. Like, if I got a new song and I'm like kind of working it out in my head and I've got like a demo recorded, I'll bring it to some people who don't really listen to rap or like don't even really listen to my shit regularly and be like, can you tell me like what you don't like about it? Cause like I can listen all day to people going, oh, it sounds awesome, man. When's this dropping? This sounds good. Like, yeah, man, it's dope. Like, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear maybe you could have did this part like this instead, or maybe this background vocal could be like turned down because it's overpowering. I want to hear shit that's wrong with it so that I can build on myself.
I found
And
this.
a lot of people are afraid to give you that truth. I have certain friends that will give me their honest opinion, which I appreciate even more than, you know, positivity in reviews, you know, like
Yes.
I'd rather hear what's wrong with it than just, oh yeah, that's dope.
And when you can get a friend who's like in the industry and is like putting work in and knows what other people are doing and can give you that fucking that like criticism with that knowledge behind it of like what's actually going on in the scene, because you got friends that know the music but you don't got sometimes, well, I'm not saying you specifically, but everybody's got friends that know the music and everybody's got a couple industry friends, but very rarely do you have industry friends that know the music and are going to want to fucking listen to your music to say something about it too. It's very fucking hard to get that clean criticism without something fucking behind it. And it sucks.
Yeah.
And that's like, I found this site called Submit Hub. You submit your song, you create a profile, you submit your song, you pay a couple of bucks and you get a couple of submissions. And I got 60 submissions, and it was 60 listens and 60 criticisms, you know, for 20 for 3 songs. And I was getting shit from strangers about the fucking song. And it doesn't come with the name of the person who's doing it or anything. Sometimes they attach it, but it's nice because you see where this person's from, and it's like a fucking stranger is listening to my music and telling me what they think about it. And it's so nice to get that fucking feeling and to know, like, sometimes you get someone who's like, oh, I like this. It's really good. And it's like, fucking A, that's a stranger saying it's good. And then a lot of times, like for Horrify, it was like, yeah, I like your music, but your name is whack as fuck. And it's like, sick. Good.
Yeah.
We had a guy say that we need to change it. We should change our name if we can. And I was like, fucking awesome. This means that our name is provocative enough to get a reaction out of someone. So no, we're not going to fucking change it. I'm going to pay for more submissions to get more of this fucking clean, I call it clean criticism, because it's coming from a source that is.
It's totally different when it's a stranger, because they have no bias, because they know you. They have no attachment to you whatsoever.
but
I have strangers message me, go like, I work out to your Tall Man song or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I
but they're
listening
already
to
looking for the
on my way
music.
to work today, and it's dope. And like, if I've never heard of that person, it feels much better, just because like, and like maybe it's somebody I didn't even reach out to. Like, they just discovered me on Instagram or whatever and just like started listening to me in whatever context, and then they reach out to me. It's just such a good feeling.
It is, man. It really is. And like, even when you get the negative shit, to know that it's still coming from a stranger and they're not like saying negative shit to attack you personally because they know who you are as a person. It's still
That's them hearing something and knowing what they don't like about it
Yeah, it's still
with no
valuable.
bias whatsoever.
It's still just as
It's
valuable.
almost way like it's almost the most useful information you can get as an artist.
Yeah, man, because if people are willing to fucking say something about it, then that is progress. That is forward fucking progress, no matter which way you cut it. Even if somebody's saying something bad about it, they still listened to it and took the time to fucking say something about it. So that means that you got your music out to someone.
Yeah.
And
Genuinely.
yeah, man, and that's the fucking goal. Like, whether they say something good about it or something bad about it, they took that fucking music in order to say something about it. And that's the fucking goal, is getting your music out to people.
Yeah.
Too many people are sensitive about what other people feel about it. You know, they're like,
Plus, a
oh,
lot of people get famous from haters anyway. Like, there's a ton of rappers, like, especially in the rap community, where the only reason they're famous is because they put out something whack and everybody went, oh, look at how dumb this is. Look at how much this sucks. And they share it and they comment like, oh, you fucking, like you should quit making music. And that's how they get famous. And that's how they actually reach so many people, that they build a niche audience within that broad spectrum anyway. So like
yeah.
you can build a genuine audience by hate.
Well, so we've recently seen a generation of clout rappers, like they call them the SoundCloud mumble rappers. I call them the clout rappers because they just did ridiculous shit for clout, you know? And like a lot of them are starting to fade out. And I know what you're saying with the controversy, like building a fucking fan base off of controversy, because you're right. Like a lot of rap, that's what gangster rap originally was, you know, was building that fan base off of saying controversial fucking heavy duty shit. But now you got like the clout rappers who took that and then they bastardized it, you know? They just started to say dumb, goofy, stupid shit, like get your face covered in tattoos, fucking do copious amounts of drugs on your fucking social media live cams and stuff. And like in that case, you're definitely not building a genuine fan base. You know, like that's not stuff that sticks. At least from what I've seen lately, that shit's not sticking at all. Like there's just a video released of 6ix9ine walking through a 7-Eleven with no security and a mask, trying to tell everybody he's a little pump, like scared for his fucking life. So, you know, eventually that shit comes to an end. And in the end, if you don't have that staying power that lies within the material, because this is where it all falls back to. If you release shitty fucking music, it doesn't matter how crazy and how drastic and how ridiculous your image is. Eventually, that's going to run out and that's going to fall flat. That generation that you stuck to is eventually going to grow up and age out of that, and it's not going to have anything that's going to be able that the next generation is going to be able to attach to. So you got to, unless you're making good shit, you got a maximum of like 4 to 8 years of being able to get that fucking upward flow. And then that group that followed you and you were doing that shit in the beginning, they're just going to get older and they're going to mature out of it. And they're going to be like, this is fucking stupid. I don't got time for this anymore. I got bills to pay. I got a job. I fucking, I'm raising kids and my mindset's changing a lot. So if you're into it just for that controversy and that clout and that stupid fucking shit, it's going to fall flat eventually. And it all boils down to having the good material, the real deal shit to go with it, and it comes back to Eminem again, because in the beginning he was that real controversy. He was one of the first like viral fucking rappers, you know what I mean? He was releasing ridiculous fucking stuff that nobody would see and come, like he was releasing music about fucking killing his ex-wife and fucking driving with his daughter in the back seat so he can throw her into a fucking into the ocean, and that's controversial shit. But he also had the really good stuff to fucking keep it concrete and to keep that fan base behind it. He had the solid production. He had the good fucking ideas. he was not just releasing one song, getting a fucking big explosion off of it, and then not having anything to follow up with, right? So in the end,
Yeah, and that's the thing. You always have to follow up with something, right?
you could be the craziest motherfucker out there, but eventually people are going to get bored. And if you don't have good music that people want to listen to, that's it. You're going to fade out eventually. You might have a good couple of years, but eventually everybody's going to get fucking bored.
Better be good with your money.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Do you want to,
which a lot of these guys aren't.
Yeah, do you want to be on No Jumper because you're a pro, or do you want to be on No Jumper because you're a joke? Because Adam 22 will fucking book you, but you got to be an extreme. You got to be either badass or you got to be fucking hilarious. There was actually have you seen this clown-faced fucking barber guy?
Who?
There's a barber out there. I just saw him on No Jumper scrolling on Facebook, and he's got his face tattooed like a clown, and he like has his hair like a clown, and he like wears clown clothes and a red clown nose, and he's like too on the button, and it's like he doesn't even realize that he looks like this, you know?
Weird.
And they were talking about time and like how, because he's a famous barber in LA, I guess. And they're like, if a customer shows up even a couple minutes late, you just like push that booking away. And he's like, yeah, man, I had this guy show up 5 minutes late. And I told him he's not sitting in the chair. I told him we're moving on to the next booking. And he looked at me and he's like, you clowning me, bro? And like, this guy didn't even realize what he was fucking saying. Like, you fucking tattooed like a clown and you just used this fucking phrase. And like, I got a meme of it. I found a meme in the comments section and I use it on people, and it's him with a totally straight face with tattooed clown makeup on and like the clown hair. He's like, I'm not clowning, bro. And I was like, fuck, man, every time I look I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you in Messenger. Every time I fucking look at it, like I can't, man. It's too fucking hilarious. But I guess he's not clowning, bro. So
that's his life. That's his business.
Right. That's his fucking business. And I was wondering, like, is he wearing big fucking shoes under the table? I don't know. But let's bring this motherfucker back around here, because like we're already 45 minutes over. But I don't have a time limit on any of this shit. I just try to, if somebody's not really like warming up to the interview, I just try to stretch it till 8 o'clock and see if that works. But when it comes to chatting with the homeboys, you know, it goes a little long sometimes.
Yeah, it's almost like not even really an interview between us right now. It's just like
I call it interview. I call it interview because it's really hard to get people on the show if you'd be like, yeah, man, I want to have a conversation with you, but I'm going to record it and release it on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, are you?
I love situations like this. Like, I do a ton of podcasts. I did a podcast yesterday. I got another one on Sunday. I got 2 more next week. I do podcasts all the time. And my favorite ones are where there's no real structure to it. We just kind of like hang out and talk about whatever. The conversation goes wherever. Like, we had a huge segment tonight about Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't plan for that. That's genuine. That's good. That's like a good conversation. I love when it goes this way.
That's what I tell people is like, I want to know what you want me to talk about, and we're going to use shout outs at the end of the show. Other than that, it's like, I know what I'm going to talk about, and there's no outline. There's no list of questions. There's nothing like that. That shit bores me to fucking tears. If I want to come and get a question and answer interview out of you, I'm going to come to one of your performances, and I'm going to do a trash on the streets segment outside the bar with my fucking camera guy. You know, like that's
actually so dope that you're doing that too.
Fucking right. And TikTok is
like,
fucking perfect for it.
If you ever come and you see me at a show, hit me up. I'm always down.
So I was hoping I was going to be able to do that at the last Dis or Daps, but the individual that I was working with at that time, she had some other intentions behind why she was working with Trash Talk, and it didn't match up with why I thought she was working with Trash Talk, so we kind of ended our working relationship. But that's okay. All the pictures, and all the pictures she took that night too, her fucking SD card ended up getting corrupted and like we don't have any of the pictures from that night anyway. So it's a big bummer, but still planning on doing all that stuff, man. It's just sometimes you got to. It's really hard to find people to work with that have the same drive and the same enthusiasm for what you're trying to do if money isn't a part of the equation.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Trust me, I don't get paid for the shit I do. I don't get money from my music. I might get money if like I sell merch or I do shows here and there, but like I'm just doing this because I have to. Like I gotta do it. I've always wanted to be a musician. It's weird that I got into it's weird that I became a rapper and not like a metal guitarist because that's what I always wanted to be when I was a kid. So it's like the path is different, but the goal is the same.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Because like these interviews and shit, I've always wanted to do this stuff. I grew up fucking playing sick from school because I didn't like going to fucking school, and I would watch fucking talk shows all day, man. I watched fucking Montel, I watched fucking Maury, I watched Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, fucking all of them, and I fucking liked that stuff. Like I fucking call myself the Trailer Park Ryan Seacrest, you know. And I love doing the interviews, MTV, Much Music, all that shit was great. And being in the band wasn't really the dream. Being the front man wasn't really the dream. Performing for people is the dream. And when it came time to do the show, all the ideas just kind of came out automatically, you know, like I want to do this, I want to interview people this way. I want to, like, people say podcast, and it's like, well, not really a fucking podcast because I try to get the audio out, but to fucking take the video, rip the audio off of it, and now like I can record it's just so much fucking work that it takes the fun out of the content. So what I've started to do is started to push it all out in different ways, and I never thought that it would be taking it. Like the underground seems to like it a lot. I get a lot of offers from the underground to do shows and shit, but like this wasn't the plan, man, but it was always the dream, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. In the end, as long as that's why you got to take your heart and your mind into consideration when you're doing stuff. If it doesn't follow your gut too, if it doesn't fucking feel good, if it makes you feel bad, makes you feel sad, makes you feel tired, like anxious, you shouldn't be doing it because that's not the same as anticipation of something that's good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that fucking constant drive, man, I don't know what it is. It fucking makes my toes tingle sometimes and pisses me off. You know what I mean? To keep on fucking going, to keep on pushing, and that's what we fucking do. And
Yeah,
that's
man.
what we're going to keep fucking doing.
It's always been my dream, and I'm never going to stop doing it. If I make it to 78, I'll be 78 rapping about murder.
Oh, yeah. And it'll be fucking...
I'll be in a wheelchair with a mic in front of me on a stage, just like, I'm fucking Michael Myers, walking quicker than you can cycle tires. And I'll have to like take like a fucking, like a mask to breathe in on stage. Like, I don't care. I'm doing this shit till I die. And that's a fact.
Breathing in oxygen, exhaling rhymes.
That's right.
Exhaling that fucking fire, man.
Yeah, I might have to write in some more breaks in between bars, but I'll make it work.
I think that should be a new fucking shirt, man. You should get somebody to draw you as a fucking old man in a wheelchair with like a microphone in one hand that has like a knife on the bottom of it, and then like with your oxygen mask on you, and then just a wheelchair. Poltergeist OD. Rhymes till I die. Something like that. That might not be the one, but I know there's a really good one there. There's a really good fucking short slogan in there.
We'll find it.
Mm-hmm. Fucking rights.
If you think of it, just message it to me. We'll brainstorm a little.
That'd be fucking sick because like that's a good idea for a fucking little merch drop, man. Old man Polte in the fucking wheelchair. Murder raps till death.
I should just create a character called Old Man Polte.
Yeah, fucking right. There you go.
Come out in like full old man makeup, gray hair, old plaid shirt ripped to shit with dirt all over it with a cane, just like, hey, everybody. And then just like break the fuck down when the beat drops.
Come out with a walker.
Yeah.
And then just throw the walker out of there and start fucking
Throw
banging
the
it
walker
out.
into the crowd and just jump at him.
Just start fucking banging it out. Like your fucking wig and your mustache start to get all crooked with your fucking glasses and shit. And then you just straighten it up and get the walker back and walk off stage.
Yo, if I saw that, I'd never forget it.
Fucking right, man. I'd be all
If I
about
saw
that
some guy
shit.
doing that on stage, I'd be like, who the fuck is that? I'm going to go download everything they've ever done right now.
That's fucking Halloween 2022 right there, son. The Disordap's Halloween show is going to be OTC, off the charts. Fucking sick. I'm thinking about doing a fucking big trash talk Halloween fucking banger.
Sick.
Spicy. The Halloween shows this year are going to be off the fucking charts because it's the first Halloween without restrictions.
Yeah, last year was the first time in, I think, 9 years I didn't have a show on Halloween night.
Weird shit, right?
It felt weird. It felt like I was out of my element. I just like stayed home and like we handed out candy to kids and like watched movies and stuff. It didn't feel right. Like I'm always at a show on Halloween. Like I'm Poltergeist OD. That's my thing, right?
Mm-hmm. You would
It's just
think,
like it
right?
felt weird.
Well, you're off brand and you should be punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't even having your own little fucking Halloween show at your house, man.
Yeah, I should have live streamed or something.
You
I
just
don't know.
forgot it was Halloween.
I gotta get more into doing this stuff. Like I'm thinking about doing my own podcast where we just like watch fucked up movies and talk about how fucked up they were.
Dude, I can help you kick that off, man. It's really easy to do. It really is. And you could do it with just your fucking phone.
Yeah.
And I know you probably
Yeah,
got...
hella interested, man. Like I got like a dope setup in the basement. I was thinking about buying like a few mics and stuff and like setting up some lights and making it look all professional and everything. But even just like what we're doing, just like record a conversation on our phone. I could probably just FaceTime people on Facebook and be like, you want to talk about a movie for an hour or whatever? And then just record that and put it out. That's my show.
Fucking rights, man. You can even do like... So what you can do is you can do watch parties on Twitch and shit. And you can do them in Discord as well. So if you get a bunch of fucking people into your Discord, then you can do a watch party in Discord and like talk about the movie as it's going on. I could even set up another scene in OBS here where it would be our two faces in the corner and then a movie playing in the background and us, we could watch it and fucking talk about it and fucking stream it out to Twitch as we're watching it, right? Like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd be down to fucking do that, man, for sure. Fucking rights. That's
Hell yeah.
sick. That's sick as hell. These things kick off. Like, they really do. People want content from individuals that they can relate to. They don't want content from some fucking mannequin with a fancy costume on that spits out fucking slogans from whoever's on the board of directors or investors at that time, right?
Yeah. Although, it'd be nice to get that kind of money.
Be nice to get that fucking corporate coin.
Yo, your sponsor list is huge though. Like that's hella impressive.
Yeah, so a lot of that comes with I don't get paid from my sponsors, but I get
Like
perks.
I know I'm involved in 3 of them.
Yes.
Personally.
I get the perks. I get the respect. And the respect and the ability to promote my homies is just as valuable to me as the cash is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being able to go out and do dis or daps, that's something you can't pay for.
Yeah. I mean, like the money can come later. Right now, we're just trying to build a scene. We're trying to build something to be proud of.
And
so that later on in life, we don't look back and go like, oh, fuck, we should have did something like that.
What if, what if I did that? And like, I get money. I do get money, but the money doesn't come from the sponsors. Like I got this mic from a sponsor that comes from Apply Within Audio in Lethbridge, and they're like a full service studio and events. They do events too, set up full gear for like your weddings, your show openings, your festivals, whatever. They can fucking set up all the gear and bring the sound guy. That's my buddy Gigi. I get a couple of bucks here and there, but like I said, it's mostly the perks. I get free entry to shows. I get put on posters so that I can get my name out there. The money actually comes from my promotion and my marketing consultations that I do for bands that I manage and stuff, and the merchandise that I sell. So the show is always, my content is free. My content is always going to be fucking free. But there's a lot of information up in my head, and there's a lot of information that I'm very interested and obsessed with going to get and like give out to other people, that like developing fucking promotion campaigns and giving bands release strategies for their music and for their content. There's a lot of people that don't know how to fucking come up with that shit. And there's a lot of people that aren't really interested in coming up with that shit. I could fucking throw a rock and hit fucking 10 bands that hate social media and are willing to fucking pay people to do it for them.
Yeah. I mean, like, personally, I don't really like social media. Like, it's cringy for me to put a camera in my face, like, yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy doing this, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be doing the most exciting shit ever, and I'll still feel like a loser. Like, I still feel cringy just with a phone in my face talking to it.
Yeah.
Which is something that, like, I just eventually have to get over, and, like, I am trying to. Like, I'm trying to, like, do more shit like that. But yeah, if I wasn't a creator, I probably wouldn't even have social media.
Yeah, dude. And you know what? This is how I justify it. It might be cringy to fucking to do those things, but it's just a mindset with with how you're doing it. Because think about any fucking business that has to advertise and has to develop promotions for their products. What I think is even more cringy is going to work every fucking day while somebody else stacks your fucking cash and decides to just give you a little crumb of it at the end of every fucking pay cycle. That's pretty fucking cringy to me. So sitting in front of my fucking phone and staring into that tiny little fucking dot at the top, fuck it. I'll fucking do that if it means that I don't have to go and watch this fucking fat cunt fucking talk about fucking immigrants, how he hates fucking immigrants, but loves how he can get them to fucking work for him. If I don't have to see that fat fuck's fucking face in the next couple of years, then I'll stare into my fucking camera and say ridiculous fucking shit so that people can enjoy my content. Like, plain and simple. Once it boils down to it.
Some people make a living just like sitting in front of their camera talking about whatever they're doing that day, even if it's mundane.
Yeah.
And like,
it's a matter of doing it. It's a matter of
we
fucking
could all
doing
just be doing that, right? Like, I'm gonna try though. Like, I'm gonna try to like do it more. It's just like a weird feeling to get over, you know?
Well, and think about these fucking guys that, like, think about the people who make it in what we're trying to do, you know? Like, they say in their candid interviews, they say, like, you got to do it. And if you don't, you got to pay somebody to fucking do it, because that's a part of the job.
And the people who you're going to pay to do it are going to be the ones to stick their phone in your face.
It's a part of the job.
Say this, do this, act like this. And it's like, oh, well, I could have just did that myself without giving you thousands of dollars. Every
job has fucking aspects that you're not going to like. But you got to fucking stay focused on the end goal always. Always. And once I fucking sit down and I recenter and I focus on that end goal, it all shakes off and I get that fucking fire again, that burn, that reminder that this is what I'm going to do until my fucking heart stops beating. And then it just becomes easy again.
It's like riding the rush off of a song release. Like, we just dropped this song yesterday it came out. I've been listening to it forever, so I'm like, oh shit, I don't even know when it came out. But yeah, just yesterday we dropped a song. So like, I'm getting messages right now on my phone from people who are like just checking it out now, telling me like it's dope. Like, I can't wait to fucking hear the next one. What's the next one gonna be about? And people always want to know, like, what movie are you writing about right now?
That's awesome.
What's your song gonna be about? And that's where I get that drive that you were talking about earlier, that like dedicated feeling where like I'm never gonna stop doing this.
If you want to fucking like keep hashing some shit out about, I know you probably know all about your promotion shit, but if you ever need somebody to talk to like straight shit and not to keep you motivated to fucking do this, man, you can always send me a message. I'm always fucking keeping my mind sharp to put this work in, and I'm never fucking getting discouraged with it because I keep 4 bands fucking motivated to do this shit, you know? So like,
Fuck yeah.
if you ever
Appreciate
need
that.
somebody to fucking bounce that professional shit off of, to do that brainstorming without any of that fucking like devaluing fucking attitude behind it, that fucking, oh, what if this, that fucking just straightforward productive attitude, fucking hit me up, man. I'm always here for it.
Dope.
So
Thanks, dude. I fucking definitely will too.
fuck yeah, buddy. I love that shit. Like, when all my homies are out partying and shit, and like if I'm not working the show, I tend to sit at home and fucking get stoned and think about this shit and try and fucking figure out, like, I'll read a little bit extra in my book, or I'll think about a new campaign, or like, who can I submit some music to that I haven't sent music to yet, What are some new
Yeah.
hashtags I can optimize in order to fucking reach some new markets and shit? Like, love that kind of stuff. So fucking hit
I've
me
been
up.
trying to reach out to like websites like bloodydisgusting.com, like upcoming horror movies,
Reach out to Rue
like
Morgue. I actually got a
Rue
homie.
Morgue magazine, yeah, stuff like
I
that.
got a
Like
homie who writes for
if
Rue
I can,
Morgue.
hey,
I got a homie who writes for Rue Morgue. He does usually.
send me the contact info.
Yeah,
Or
man.
just like tell them about me and be like, if you're interested to talk or whatever, I'll just like even have a conversation with him.
I'll see what he says, because he usually does like Asian grindcore bands and stuff, but they're usually really horror themed and all that. So like it sits in the same content theme. It's just a different genre of music. That's all. So I think he might be
Yeah.
into it. He also writes for Absolute Underground too, and I'm trying to get back on the horse, but I write for Absolute Underground as well. I'm just fucking
Sick.
got so much other shit going on. It's fucking hard to.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I really have to though. But
That's like me with like writing new material. I'm pretty much like writing off of material that I've had written for a few years now. And like whenever I sit down with a new concept, like I'm writing a Hellraiser song right now about Pinhead, and like just the fact that like I haven't sat down and like written like that in about a year is like it's hard to get back into the vibe. But with that, when Sonic sent me that beat and I got right into it and I wrote the whole verse within like an hour or two, like I still got it. It's just the fact that like I got to get into the right mindset, Sometimes you're just not in a writing mood.
yeah, dude. I know how that is, because like with my band, luckily my guitar player writes all the lyrics, and he's never been in a band before, so he's got all this fucking stuff that's ready to go. And like for me, sitting down and writing lyrics is really hard, because I have this really basic mindset when it comes to lyrics. I'm not really fucking adventurous with my word usage. I'm not really like, I can think up really good phrases in my mind, and I can think up how they would fit together, but as soon as music plays behind it, it's like fuck and death and kill, and it's not any cool words, and there's no adjectives, and it's like, fuck, this sounds really boring. I sound like a 13-year-old kid who's like trying to yell at his bully, you know what I mean? And
But it's a mood too, right? Like when I listen to metal, I don't listen to metal for the lyrics. I haven't listened to metal for the lyrics since like
yes,
Watershed by Opeth,
that's
like
right.
years and years ago. I
And
listen to metal for the fucking oomph,
and
like I want to
that's
fucking bang my head against a wall for 3 hours.
exactly, and that's why I love what Joel writes, because Joel writes the music along with his guitar riffs. So it's always going to sound better if he writes the arrangements and his lyrics to go along with the music that he's already writing. Then that takes a lot of the guesswork out of like the phrasing that I have to do for it. So I might move a couple of
And the
phrases.
pressure too, right?
Yeah, I might move a couple of things around, and I might add a couple of things and take a couple of things out. But the fact that he gives me that basis for me to like, it's like he gives me the canvas, and then I get it, and like the selection of colors and shit, and then tells me like, here's the picture you got to paint. It's like a paint by numbers, and I get to fuck it up however I want, right? Because my specialty lies in the conversationalism. I don't get caught up on my words. I'm very confident in the things that I say. I might be missing 3 of my front teeth, but I still speak clearer than most people who have all of their fucking front teeth, and I'm very practiced in that. So if I can focus on doing that, on my performance, on my vocals, on my insanity on stage, then that's going to make a better show. That's going to make a better resulting product in the end. And is a part of the success of that's coming for Horrify, you know, is the fact that we know what we're doing. We're not trying to pretend that we're some artistic fucking force that is going to be on the cutting edge of fucking metal. Like, we're not Spirit Box, you know? We're not fucking Ice Nine Kills. We're not fucking Slipknot. We're just some fucking shitty grindcore band with some punk style that wants to get out and fucking make the pit tear themselves apart, because we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that in the last couple years. We haven't seen a band that's specifically dedicated to putting on a good fucking show. Playing okay music, playing good music in some cases, and some people even think the music is fucking awesome. I think it's awesome. But in the end, every show we've played so far has been fucking insane. And the crowds have gone fucking wild for it. And that's the point of knowing your shit. You know your shit. You know who you appeal to. And we brought the fucking conversation full circle, you know? You know your shit. You know who you appeal to. There's really no point of trying to, like, push yourself or overcomplicate shit to try and get outside of it, when you can really hone in and focus on the people who care about what you're trying to do.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, like, why I don't branch out and make different types of music, or like, why don't you rap like this, or like do more. People want me to do more general hip hop style rap.
That's them projecting on you.
Because this is what I want to do. Like, this is who I am. This is my lane, and I'm sticking in my lane. And I don't care to reach out to a wider audience. Like, my fans are awesome, and I want more people like them. You know, I don't want fucking Roger down the street who only listens to fucking Wu-Tang.
That's
you know?
right. When I was younger, I used to take suggestions like that from my homies, and I used to fucking bring it back to them and be like, check this out. And then it would pretty much boil down to like, oh, I fucking forgot I even said that to you. Like, that sounds cool though. And it's like, fuck. And then you realize, like, your friend, just because your friends are saying shit and trying to like pitch ideas in, does not mean that you should give every one of your friends a chance to be a fucking valuable contributor.
Yeah.
Like, no. Your friends are trying to just be a part of the conversation sometimes. They're not actually trying to give you fucking valuable suggestions on the direction to take your music. And it's like, you know what? You give them the old, like, yeah, man, that's a really cool idea. I might actually use that. Yeah. And then it's like, no, I'm not going to fucking throw a back-ended fucking like sad trumpet solo in the middle of this grindcore song just because you heard that one guy do it on that one fucking compilation disc that came out in 1997. Like, I understand you want to have a conversation here, but like, we're talking about fucking what are we going to eat for fucking dinner, man? Like, come on. So we got to bring this back around and we got to wrap this up, Pulte, because we could fucking go all night. I know we could.
I'm sure we could.
We'll just do it. We'll just do a round two when you do your next drop. Actually, that's where we're going to go next. When is the next drop coming out?
July 1st, next Friday.
Yeah, baby. Keeping it up with them.
About The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox, a 90s horror comedy. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest it. It's probably free on Tubi because fucking everything good is free on Tubi.
Well, that's because it's owned by Fox.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, buddy. That's fucking Fox's free streaming site. I love Tubi too. It's got all the weirdest fucking documentaries on it, man. It's got all the aliens and ancient aliens shit. It's got all the weird right-wing fucking conspiracy documentaries. I'm pretty sure if you dug in there, it'd have the old Alex Jones shit on there. Fucking Police State from 2004. The real good shit. I hate to say it, but Alex Jones predicted a lot of the shit that's going on right now. And he's like, I was a comedian. I was just saying it as a comedian. All right, fucking conspiracy shit's ridiculous. In the end, we all got to live it. We all got to deal with it. We all got to just love it.
How many of us are ever going to know the truth? Really?
That's right, because nobody's going to come out and say, you guys are right. Nobody ever is. So in the end, you just got to be nice to everybody, and you just got to fucking take it for what it is and be nice. That's the whole point. Be nice to people, you know? Don't fucking think everybody's out to get you. If somebody falls down, pick them back up again, you know? Fucking be nice. That's it. So
Pit rule.
there you go. That's right. So now has come the time on the show where you get to bring up anything you think we might have missed talking about, or you get to lay out your shout outs and we can wrap this baby up.
Well, if you're in Edmonton, an area, and you're around, you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, every single Friday, we do Dis or Daps. What it is everybody in the bar has a chance to put their name into a bucket. And if we call you on stage, you get to rap for a minute over a random selected beat. And we just critique you on it, tell you how you did. Sometimes if you do well, we could offer like music videos, lyric videos, spots on shows. We give away like tickets. Like we gave away tickets to the Method Man and Redman show in November, which I'll also be at. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot of shit going on.
Because you're
Friday night
opening
at
that
Street in
show.
Edmonton.
You are
Hey?
performing at that fucking show. You're not just gonna be.
Fucking right.
You're not just gonna
That's
be
a dream
at
come
that
true,
show.
Man. Like, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. I love Method Man. I love Redman.
Me
They're
too,
two
man.
of my favorite rappers, especially Redman. And it's just like it's a huge honor to open up for these guys.
You earn
It's
that shit
nerve-wracking,
though.
but it's so cool.
You're gonna do just fine. Like I honestly, you've got more fucking preparation for a big stage show than I did with my band, and my band did fucking A-okay. So you're gonna do just fucking fine, man. You're gonna find that it's very comfortable and you fit in there very well, my buddy.
I've done bigger shows too. Like I've opened for like Tech Nine,
Oh,
Chris
okay.
Calico, Stitch. We did Junk. I've done Mercury.
Yeah, and those are fucking same level fucking shows. You're fucking playing the same kind of venues and shit too. And that's really what it boils down to is, are you able to handle the fast pace of working in a higher level venue? You know? And you're already comfortable with that shit, buddy. So you're gonna be fucking golden. You're gonna be
I'll live
rolling
for it.
gold. Fucking rights, buddy. Fucking rights. So yeah. Everybody, thank you so much for fucking tuning in. This has been a fucking great cast, man. We're definitely gonna fucking round this one up. We're gonna do another one for sure, buddy. Like fucking right.
Oh, yeah, man.
Maybe
I'm
not
down
next.
anytime. Just hit me up.
Yeah, maybe not next Friday, but we're gonna fucking do one real soon after festival season for sure because shit's about to get hectic starting tomorrow, man. Starting tomorrow, it's festivals every 2 weeks until fucking September.
Till winter.
Yeah, man. Like fuck me. It's gonna be sick. I'm stoked. I'm stoked to get back into it. I'm excited to see how I'm gonna fucking manage to deal with all this shit. But we'll get her fucking figured, or we won't, you know? This is how it is, right? All right. So from fucking Poltergeist OD, from your man Nate Trash, from Audiologist in the chat, commenting. I see you in there commenting, Audie, and I love you, buddy. And you have been a part of this episode. And I will fucking see you tomorrow. If it's raining tomorrow morning, Audie, 99 says that I'm not going to work. So that means that me and you will need to hook up and we will need to go shopping because Daddy needs to get some stuff from Long and McQuaid for the show. So we're going to be going to work tomorrow, even if it is raining. Thank you, everybody, for checking out the show. Poltergeist, Polty, Corey, thank you so much for fucking putting up with my bullshit. I really appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's good to see you again, bud.
I love it. I love it. We're fucking, I said this to J-Reds when we met, because we met in person for the first time at Dis or Daps. And he's like, I think this is the first time we've met in person. And I was like, yeah, I think we've only known each other for a couple of years in like people time, but like in like galactic time, man, it's been like, 9, 10,000, something like that. You know what I mean? Getting up there in those years, you meet those people and you can tell you've known them for a couple of star cycles. You know what I mean? Yeah, buddy.
Many moons.
Yeah, buddy, you're one of those people. You're a fucking kindred spirit for sure. So from Trash Talk, I'm Nate Trash. This is Poltergeist OD. This has been another episode of Trash Talk. I want everybody tomorrow to come out to Decimate Metal Fest in High River Brew Co. There's going to be some delicious beers. There's going to be camping. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be fucking sick fucking metal bands. It's going to be a good time. So come on out. I'm going to be on site doing interviews, fucking grabbing content, recording bands. It's going to be fantastic. So hopefully I'll see you guys all out there. So Nate Trash, that's Poltergeist OD. Dis or Daps is happening tomorrow at B Street in Edmonton, and you need to fucking be there, whether it's to put your fucking name in the bucket or get some of that wood-fired pizza and a shot of fucking tequila. If you're in Edmonton, you got to fucking be there tomorrow. So, cheers, everybody. Have a great night. And I will fucking be back on Monday. Take her easy. Good night.